Welcome to Study Loop.
For this question, we are looking at the different coloration of moths inside of England during different time periods. So we'll look at the period of the early 1900s, and we'll look at the later 1900s where atmospheric conditions were improved. So in the early 1900s, the rise of the Industrial Revolution, you have lots of smoke and ash filling into the atmosphere. It's going to mix with the snow in the environment, and you're going to get that soot and ash mixed into the environment. So it's going to be very dark and speckled. So you can imagine there are going to be two types of moths. You have the speckled moth, which has a white and darkened speckled pattern, and you're going to have the light moth, which is going to be completely white. So inside of this environment, you can imagine that the speckled moth is going to blend in and camouflage, whereas the completely white moth is going to stand out against the speckled trees, the speckled snow, and the altered environment. So here, predators are more likely to see this white moth rather than the speckled moth. So due to the increased survival of the speckled moth, you're going to have them increase in number inside of the population, whereas the white moth will begin to decrease as they are predated on more. So in the late 1900s, as England started to clean its air and reduce the amount of populations, you're going to have less amount of snow with ash, and you're going to have a whiter background in the winter season. So here again, you have the speckled moth, and you're going to have the white moth. So inside of this environment, the speckled moth is going to stand out against the snow and the white background, whereas the white moth is going to be able to blend in and camouflage better. So here, predators are going to eat the speckled moth more because they can be detected, whereas the white moths will increase in number because they are camouflaged and are going to be less eaten and be able to reproduce and pass on this white coloration of the wings. So this change in populations is dependent on the conditions of the environment where they're able to camouflage in. So with the cleaner air, you're going to expect that the speckled moth population is going to decrease, whereas the white-winged moth is going to start to increase. So here you should pick answer choice D based on those conclusions.